Alrighty. Thank you for joining us, Carly.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking me.
Oh, you're welcome. You can tell your amazing story whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. Well, you should turn your video on so we can see.
I tried. Oh, there we are. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, first of all, I should say that I just have to give you guys major props for doing this. I know that, doing video and doing interviews is, kind of like a big step out of most people's comfort zones. And so I am just so passionate about stories that need to be told. It's the stories that are life changing. The products have changed my life, but it really is the stories that float around about what is doing for everybody else that is incredible and inspiring. And so good job getting lots of stories out there. So
we're trying.
So my name is Carly, and I have been a Thriver for about 5.5 years. When I started Thriving, my kids were 5 and 7. And I was just really exhausted. If, anybody would come up to me and say, "Hey, Carly, how are you doing today?" Tired. That was always my answer. I was surviving on caffeine. I took a nap every single day, and not like a cat nap, but like a 2 to 3 hour nap was my goal. Usually I'd put my kids to bed around 8 or 8:30, and I would go to bed right after that. But then basically around 2 o'clock on, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't stay asleep. I was getting up nonstop. So I typically wouldn't fall back to sleep until right before my alarm would go off. And so then the alarm would go off, and, it just put me in a bad mood. And every day started just like that, not ready to wake up, not ready to get started. Most of the time, actually, it was my kids that would drag me out of bed because they were hungry. So I never felt like I had enough rest. My husband and I, we were trying to do all the right things. We were at the gym. We were trying to eat healthy. And I just still felt exhausted. Definitely something was missing. So all that being said, I had a friend who started using Thrive in January of 2014. And I was one of the first people she reached out to. And I ignored her for 7 months. I did not answer a text message. I did not answer an email. I certainly was not giving her my email address. She could reach out to me and we could talk about the kids. We could talk about anything else. But I did not want to hear anything about the Thrive stuff. I felt like there's just no way it could do all that. I was very opinionated, okay, and a huge skeptic. And I didn't understand why she just wouldn't leave me alone, really. And so one day, it was in the summer, it was July of that year, she and her husband coming to town, with high school together. That's how we know each other. And we were planning to hang out. I was really looking forward to it. And she brought some trial packs with her. And as skeptical as I was, as soon as she was bringing me free stuff, I was like, yeah, okay, what is it, So then I'm all ears, and plus she looked amazing. You could just see a big difference. She looked brighter. Her skin looked great. She had obviously lost some weight. She seemed really patient with her kids, and I just felt like the opposite. I felt like a hot mess, So as she's kind of explaining, it's just 3 simple steps. You do this first thing in the morning. It's literally so easy. You just, it squeezes right into your morning. You don't have to do a lot of extra stuff. You're going to love it. And I was like, well, I want to do it right now. And she goes, no, you can't take it right now. You have to wait till tomorrow morning. You have to do it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Just listen to me. Do it right. So then, I just could not wait. The stuff was it's hot in my hands. I really wanted to try it right then, but I waited, and the next morning I must have read those instructions 20 times. She said I have to do it a very specific way, so I'm going to, follow the directions to a T. My first impression was that's it. That was so easy. I loved it. The shake was delicious. Back then we just had vanilla We also just had green patches. Like we were bare bones back then. We've got so many choices now. It's unbelievable. But I was like, okay, now what, like, when's this going to kick in? What's going to happen? And I didn't really notice like a switch go off, but I will say that like come 2 o'clock, which is nap time, like I was rearranging furniture. I was hanging pictures on the wall. My kids, they were like, let's go swimming. And usually I would say, no, not till after my nap. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And so they were all excited because like, we're finally doing something kind of fun. It's the middle of summer, you know? So my husband comes home and he's like, wow, you know, like all the furniture's in different places. There's pictures on the wall. He's like, what happened today? I'm like, I took the stuff that Lindy brought me and like, we just had a great day. And he's like, oh my gosh, you're going to be up all night. Like, are you on speed? Like, is this legal? What is this? And you know what? I had the best night's sleep that night that I had in years. I slept all night long. I did not wake up one time to go to the bathroom. I was always getting up at least 2 or 3 times. And the next morning, I woke up before my alarm went off. And I woke up like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I was not groggy. Like, I felt incredible. So I went to the gym and like I had another good day. And by my 3rd day, that was how many days she gave me in my little trial pack. I was in a panic. I was out. I didn't have any more of the Magic Thrive. And, you know, luckily my husband was a bigger skeptic than I was. So I stole his trial pack and I took that. And I actually started this whole journey as a customer. You know, I know she was telling me, you know, you could refer 2 friends and thrive for free. And hey, if you're going to do that, then you might as well go for VIP 800. It's an awesome bonus we have. You can earn $660. And I'm like, it's going in one ear, totally out the other. I'm like, I'm not there yet. I probably never will. I don't want to sell anything. And so she just left me alone. But of course, like I had people that were noticing some changes in me, like 2 of my neighbors that lived across the street. They came over, like marched over intervention style, like they were going to, you know, ask me what's going on because I'm acting like so differently. I was outside shooting baskets with my kids and they're like, this is not normal behavior. What are you doing? So I think it's this Thrive stuff. Like I have felt so great for days now. I've got more on the way. And they're like, well, how do we get it? I'm like, I have no idea. And so that's when I started talking to Lindy, like, you know, I've got some people that want to try this, you know, what's the deal? And she's like, well, remember you refer to customers, you can get your products for free. She showed me how to do it. She's like, but listen, as much as I would love these commissions for myself, you're really missing out if you don't just click that promoter button. And so I sent support that day. I don't even know how many messages. They were like really quick getting back with me too. So it was a good thing. I'm like, where's the fine print? This cannot be as good. You know, like there's got to be a catch somewhere. It can't be free to promote. It can't, like, you can't be giving me a website. I can't get products for free. This like makes no sense. Are you going to, you know, take all this money back in taxes? Or like, what is the deal? I don't even know. And, you know, they answered all my questions. And by the end of the day, I clicked promoter and, you know, we just really haven't looked back. I got those friends started on their Thrive experience. Like my mom was probably the actual first person that ordered from me. But, you know, I was a stay-at-home mom at this point. Like I didn't have a huge network of friends. I didn't know that many people. I'm not from here. I've lived here now for, you know, like 11 years, but I'm not from here. It's not like I went to high school with all these people or just have a ton of people in the area that, you know, I could say, hey, let's get together, you know, but I just knew some girls on my street basically. And, you know, had them all come over, they experienced the products for themselves. And that's, you know, how I got things started. And really at that point, they were just trusting me because like I seemed different. But, you know, 2 weeks into my Thrive experience, I had lost like 6 pounds. After about 2 months, I'd lost like 20 pounds. So, you know, my confidence just soared. I started doing things with my kids on a regular basis. Like it wasn't just that one time thing. And before I knew it, like they were getting ready to go back to school. So it was August at this point. And they were like always, they're little, so they love school, right? Like now they're 13 and 10. They don't love school anymore. They grow up, but at that point, they all got excited about going back to school, and they always got excited about back to school shopping. And so, one day we were going to go do that, and they seemed just really depressed, like not ready to go back to school. They didn't want to go to back to school night. I'm like, guys, you're too young for this. What's going on? And they said, Mom, you're just now starting to have fun with us. And I was like, I must have, I felt like so great about what I was doing and so guilty about where I had been before Thrive. I was letting my own exhaustion and my own crankiness and, all that cloud, all this awesome stuff that was happening in front of me. Kids. And I started putting this premium nutrition in my body. This happened in front of my eyes 100 times, maybe more. I have seen these transform over and over and over again because, this stuff really works, and most people come to me, they're like, I've tried this before, I've tried that before, and, I spent a bunch of money, and here I am getting ready to spend a bunch of money again. I'm like, you won't regret it. It'll be the best thing that you've ever done for yourself. And 30 days from now, I'm going to be your favorite person. So that's pretty much my story. I have been promoting Thrive ever since. We actually just got back from Mexico. I went with the company on the lifestyle getaway to the Riviera Maya. I think it was my 15th trip. And they just never get old. Honestly, they never get old. The vibe is, if you can imagine how happy you are on Thrive and then put 2,500 happy Thrivers in one place, and it's bonkers. So everybody's happy. Everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's living their best life. And, of course, the announcements were really exciting. And, like I said, never, ever, ever gets old. The company rewards customers with free products. The company rewards promoters in every way possible, financially, fun rewards like trips and cars. And, I got a new Audi like a year and a half ago. I've been an auto bonus earner for actually, so it was 5 years in February since I had been earning my auto bonus. And so that's $800 every month for 5 years. I need to do the math on that, but can you imagine if that is taken off of your family's plate as an expense? What would that mean for your family? Like I said, the rewards are just incredible, but I've met some of the most amazing people through LaBelle. Thrivers are just cool, right? Made some lifelong friends. My family, my friends, my team, we are like family, and it's just unlike anything else I've ever been a part of. I've never done this before, by the way, and we'll never do it again. I keep doing this, right? So anyways, I've rambled forever. I will pause and let you guys jump in and see if you have any questions or anything I didn't cover. But like I said, I really appreciate you guys allowing me to share my story.
Oh my gosh, girl, that was amazing. I'm just like, oh yes, I love it. That was me. And yeah, I don't have any kids, but legit, I could totally relate with that with just, like I said, I titled it, getting your mommy mojo back. Your kids, not wanting to go to school and hang out with their cool friends. They want to hang out with the cool mom that we go swimming and we go out and play basketball and stuff like that. That is just amazing. And like you said, just we're just happy people because we're sharing this and we are filling our body with premium nutrition. I just freaking loved your story. I love it.
Thank you. I always
So
say, like,
really
I don't
appreciate
really
that.
have like an awesome story. I just have like the typical story, you know, like this is what people do on Thrive. You know, they take the Thrive and they feel amazing, and you know, they start making all these other changes as a result, and before you know it, you know, you're living a completely different life. Like, I could not have kept going how I was. Like, I already had felt like I just really sunk in very low, you know, and it was like everything was very clouded just because I was focused inward. You know, I was thinking about me and how tired I was and how exhausted I was and how, you know, I resented everybody in my life for not doing more to help me, you know. And when I started taking Thrive, I realized that, like, that was not the problem. That was not the case. You know, I have a beautiful home. I have healthy kids. I have an awesome husband. We, you know, like, we were living a great life. I just couldn't see it. So it's like it removes the cloud.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the shield of, like you said, that removes the cloud of you to be able to appreciate life. I can totally resonate with that 100%. And it's crazy. But I don't know if anyone has any questions. If you do, drop them in the box. If not, you could reach out to me personally and Stephanie personally, that we will get everything. I'm going to turn off the recording, and I thank you so much. Did you want to add anything?
I can't think of anything, but I guess other than if you are just catching this recording, then, you know, get back with whoever invited you to hear it, because they shared it with you for a reason. They must think you need this. And do yourself a favor and just say yes. You know, I remember when I started, I was thinking, I've never spent, you know, money on nutrition, right? I was taking, like, you know, vitamins from Walmart. Like, I was never spending more than $5 a month on nutrition. So, you know, when my friend was like, okay, it's just $150 to start, I won't lie, like that, I paused for a second. You know, I was like, oh, that's a lot. And then thinking that if I like it and I keep doing it, it's going to be a big expense. I knew I was going to have to refer 2 friends to Thrive for free just to get my husband on board with it, to get him to, you know, keep saying yes. But worth every penny. Okay, it was a leap of faith, and it didn't feel like a very easy decision to make at the time. But I would go back and do it 100 times over. I paid double or triple just knowing what would happen after I started. So take the leap of faith, trust your friends, say yes, and, you know, commit to the 8-week experience.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
You are welcome. You're welcome.